All right, everybody, before we get to today's video, we're doing a limited run over the next 10 days of t-shirts through teespring.com. If you check the link below, or there's a link right here on the screen, you can get a t-shirt with the Super Speeders logo on it. There's only going to be these shirts available for the next 10 days. So if you want a shirt, go ahead, score one in your size. Automatically, we didn't release the entries form yet for the Super Speeders BMW M3 giveaway for the 500,000 subscribers. When we do, you'll automatically receive 5 entries per shirt that you order, so your chances of winning a free M3 go up a little bit. No guarantee. There's no purchase necessary to potentially win the BMW M3. However, this will increase your odds. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you for watching. Now to today's video. What's up, everybody? Rob Ferretti here. A video that most people tend to stay away from. I'm going to talk about how much money you can make on YouTube, or at least how much money I make on YouTube, and you can sort of trickle that down to you and see if it makes sense or doesn't make sense for you to put a lot of time and effort into the YouTube channel. YouTube has these spaces. When you qualify with over like 5,000 subscribers, they'll let you into the YouTube space. And depending on how large you get, you unlock more abilities at each space. So you get to use production material, you get to use cameras and the facilities. They do lectures and seminars as to how to expand and grow. Most of them are for just regular subscribers. I think some of them you can get in with like 1,000 subscribers. And it's sort of trying to help cultivate and connect people that are trying to do YouTube as a career. Anyway, that being said, we'll talk about how much money I generated on YouTube over the past couple of years, and I'll let you do the math for yourself as to whether it's going to work for you or not work for you. So you have to realize when you're doing YouTube that the numbers that I'm going to be telling you are gross numbers. They are numbers that I get but don't account for any production costs, anything beyond, and they don't account for taxes. All it is, that's the check that YouTube writes to you, and then you have to pay taxes on it. You got to do whatever you have to do to pay for production costs, any materials, any cameras, anything involving the actual development and delivery of those videos comes out of that money. And then, of course, there's the value of your time, which can be spent doing other things. Let's get to the numbers. I can only go back as far as 2014. 2013 numbers are skewed because that's when I finally broke free from Machinima, who, we'll just leave it at that. I broke free from Machinima, and 2014 is the first set of numbers I actually have. I was getting $2,173.97 per million views when I average it out. When you go to 2015, I was making $2,334.41 per million views. And then to 2016, I'm up to $2,709.08 per million views. Now, keep in mind, this doesn't account for what I have on my channel, which is some rental videos. And it doesn't account for anyone that goes behind a paywall and makes you pay for premium content. It also doesn't account for any of the revenue you get from branded content or sponsored videos. So that all adds on top of that, but you don't really start seeing that until you're at a couple 100,000 subscribers and you actually deliver good views per video. Until that point, it's just all ad rev that you're living off of, so to speak. And the question now is, can you make a living doing that? And that's gross numbers to me. When I did the math, YouTube apparently takes about 40% of the overall ad revenue generated. So if my channel generates $100,000 in ad revenue, YouTube takes about $40,000 and gives me $60,000. So I mean they're the reason the platform exists. Are there better revenue splits out there? I'm sure, but YouTube has the audience, and that's what drives the advertising dollars, and that's what ends up putting money in your pocket for delivering content. So that being said, can you make a living doing it? It really depends on what your production costs are and what your living is. Matt Farah, myself, David Patterson, we all have reasonably sized channels. We could all sort of support a family, maybe not a luxurious lifestyle, but we could support a family on the money that we bring in currently. And if you think about that and put it in relation to the PewDiePie's, I just did the math on PewDiePie's channel, he probably makes about $34,000 a day on YouTube from ad revenue. So if you take me, Matt Farah, and Dave Patterson and pile all of our money that we get a year together, we won't even cover PewDiePie's taxes. that he pays on his ad revenue. So think about that. So the answer is yes, you can, if you get to those levels, make enough money to do very well. I mean, PewDiePie makes as much money as a bunch of celebrities would love to make, at least $1 million a month before ad deals. And I know there's a bunch of celebrities that you would absolutely recognize their name, and they would jump up and down to sign a contract like that. So keep that in mind. You can take this platform and make it into something big. Does that happen to everybody? No. I just gave you PewDiePie, who's one of the top, whatever, couple of YouTube videos. He's the number one. He was the number one YouTube. He was, as far as subscriber rank, when I saw it, he was like third or fourth. Anyway, that all being said, a lot of people making a lot of money on YouTube, but most people are not making very much money. Most people just have the dream of making money. So that's why you really have to do the math and figure out what content is rewarded. Pay attention to the analytics. Go to websites like Social Blade, look at your statistics, and see where you can improve. There is money to be made. It's not going to be the gold mine. Like you can go back and even use these numbers, which I'm sure are pretty consistent with other fairly big YouTubers' numbers, and say like the guy who goes out there and you look at his channel and he's got 15 million views. It's like, yeah, you know, I'm just living off that YouTube money, just driving my Lamborghini. Clearly, with 15 million views, the guy made, what, $35,000. He's not driving a Lamborghini based off of his YouTube money. And that's why I did that video, What I Do for a Living, because it explains that, like, the YouTube, if I just had YouTube, I would not have the lifestyle that I have. I've got three or four sources of income, which allow for me to live the way I live. And YouTube is just one of them, and it's a window into sort of what I do for fun. But the guys that run around like they're making all this giant living off of YouTube, you can obviously do the math and see how much they're making before taxes, and that's assuming all their content is monetized. I mean, if they're using songs from Def Leppard or whatever, and they're not running ads, those are non-monetizable videos, or the ad rev is going somewhere else because they decided they wanted to use some popular song like Linkin Park, and they don't own the rights to that. So that all being said, you guys do the math yourself. If you see that there's a living to be had, go for it. I mean, I think you have to make, I mean, figure $50,000 a year to turn this into a viable, like, we can turn this into a business. And that $50,000 a year requires 20 million views. So if you're not making $1.5 million and you're not scaling, that's a very important thing to see. If you're going out there and throwing up videos all the time and the growth curve doesn't look like this, you may be doing the wrong thing. You have to make a correction or two, and if those corrections don't work, maybe this isn't the right thing for you. So all things to look at. Pay attention to the data. You can do this for a living. That's how much I make. You can do the math. Hopefully next year it'll be 3,000, 3,500. Who knows what it'll be per million views, but that's what I've got. Thank you for watching. Go out and take it for what it is. Take care, guys.